What's going on, people? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. It's finished at the Emirates. Arsenal nil, Manchester United nil. I wouldn't say it was a boring game, but it's ended in a stalemate. Neither team able to break down the other, ending up with 1 point, which I don't think really helps either team if we're talking about a race for the title or a race for top four. But it is what it is. I'm going to get the thoughts of Ramsey as we go through and break down a draw, another game where Man United failed to beat Arsenal in the Premier League. They're coming somewhat like a bogey team. Let's get into it. Yes, Arsenal nil, Man United nil. Listen, I'm going to get straight into it, Ramsey. Are you happy with that result?
Um, I'll take it. I'll take it because at the end of the day, I think with the lineup that we had and the players we had available, um, it looked nervy like we could lose this one. Um, Obviously we knew that we weren't going to have Aubameyang. We knew we may not have Tierney, but with no Saka as well, going into the game, I saw the team and I thought this is going to be it's going to be a tricky one to get through. I said it in the preview actually. If we had them, if we had Partey, Smith-Rowe, and Tierney, I think we'd win. With no Tierney and not knowing that we didn't have Saka, yeah, it just looked like it was going to be a. It could have been a long night. So yeah, I think we've got, from our point of view, we've got to take that.
You take it, but I mean, when I say are you happy with the draw in terms of what you're again? To be fair, in the preview you said you don't know what Arsenal are actually aiming for this season. What does this
Yeah.
point do for Arsenal?
It's not the worst. It's not the worst considering the results we had before. Now, if we were coming to this game, on the back of a couple of losses or whatever, trying to get back to winning ways, then I'd say, you know what, points drop. But considering where we were from before, and the results we got, 5 wins in 6 games, to get a draw here, it's not the worst. And we're still looking upwards, you know what I mean? Before those 6 games, we're far, far below where we need to be. So, like, it helps us in the sense that, Everton lost today. We're trying to close in on the teams above us and get the results from them. We're not going to win every single game, and in a top 6 game when you're missing key players, we take the point. Take the point.
Yeah, from my point of view, I think it's a draw that I expected. I just felt that I've seen this before. I've seen this before when we get a bad loss. And when I say bad, it don't necessarily have to be a hammering or anything like that. It's just a loss that really dents whether it's our hope or our confidence. We lose that game to Burnley at the end of just before Bruno came. The Liverpool loss, whatever you expected that, you lose to Burnley, and it's like that can't happen. So then you go into the next game, making sure you don't lose before going for the win. So I knew Fred and McTominay is going to come back. We lose to, I think it was Leipzig. We got knocked out in the Champions League, and we had Man City in the next game. And I was like, listen, a draw. I'll take for me, the result was more important than the performance because that getting knocked out in the Champions League in that manner was so morale draining that we couldn't afford back-to-back losses. And then losing to Sheffield United again, it's not about how much you lose by, but it's the magnitude of the game and losing at home to the bottom side in the Premier League. I mean, it was unforgivable. And if we lost Arsenal back-to-back games in the Premier League, that would have been catastrophic for whatever we're trying to achieve this season, whether it be top four, whether it be title challenge, just confidence in general. I think we've got, is it FA Cup midweek? I could be wrong. No.
No,
Oh, it's Premier League. So we don't want to end up in a malaise, as I've said, and then start fighting. We end up in a fight for top four when we've done so much work to actually be in the position that we are in the first half of the season. So for me, the result was the more important thing, and the draw is the bare minimum. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the draw. I didn't think we were going to be a draw, but when I saw the lineup from Arsenal, I'm like, we should be winning this. We should be winning this game. Like, as good as Arsenal have been in recent form, and whether we've been playing well but getting results, the performance might not have been there. We lost against Sheffield. This is a game that we should be winning. Ultimately, we should have won the game. Ultimately, but the performance was not good enough. Not good enough for a game you need to win. If this is a game where you say, you know what, I take a draw, then you say, cool. I understand why you played like that, but we should take our chances. I just don't think that our play even deserved the win. So if we got it, it would have definitely been like, yeah, we nicked that one. We nicked that one. It was a very, very 50-50 game. But based on the lineups and the position of the table, we should never have made it 50-50. I give credit to Arsenal for how they played with all their issues in terms of player absences. But, I mean, there's so many players for us who, for me, just did not perform today. Starting with Cavani. I mean, overall, I don't think his play was bad. But your striker, your number 9, you are famed on your goal scoring. And he missed 2 good, very good to great chances and just didn't get a foot on the third one. I mean, do you feel fortunate that Man United didn't come away with a win?
I wouldn't say fortunate because I mean, although you had the clear cut, the more sort of clear cut chances, we had our own chances as well to get the win as well. So I wouldn't say fortunate. I think the result's probably fair in overall in terms of chances created from both sides. It just ended up you having the more sort of clear cut chances in the game. And for me, really, the Cavani one where they, I know in commentary they thought he came off Cedric because defending him, but ended up being the Cavani miss. He literally missed the target and you got a corner from it. Yeah, that was the one. That was the one for me. That's the main one of the whole game, really. In a sense, I mean that's the biggest chance of the game. Although I think in a weird way, Lacazette I guess came closer because he hit the bar. But
yeah, but it wasn't. You're not expecting him to score. He came closer because of the quality of the shot.
Yeah, exactly. But the one that was behind him, I felt that he should have left for Martial.
I see, yes. In hindsight, yes. But as a striker, do you leave that? Because everything's happening so quickly.
Yeah, but if you get the call, and this is maybe it's about communication.
Martial didn't call. Martial did not call. I'm telling you, he didn't call.
But this is the thing.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I'm telling you, he didn't call because Martial ain't the guy. Like if Cavani's in that position, he's calling. Martial didn't call. Martial's happy. Cavani took the shot.
But that's the thing. If he didn't call, then it's bad on Martial's part because the volley was clear for him. Cavani's coming back, and I feel like I know what they said as a striker, you're going to try go for it anyway because you're a striker. But there are times when maybe you get the call when you think someone's in a better position. I might just dummy this one and let a man shoot because he's also done that as well in certain games. Seen him, link up well
because they were so close. It wasn't like a.
Yeah.
I don't think there was enough time. I don't think there was enough time to really think about it. It's either you're not going to shoot or you're going to shoot. It's not. You're not really thinking about someone's in a better position. You're a striker. We need a goal. I expect him to go for that shot. It would have been good for Martial to have it instead. No guarantee Martial would have scored if everything that's happened. But for me, it's not. It's a very good chance. It's a very good chance still.
Yeah.
It's still a very good, even though it was slightly behind. I'm not going to castrate him for that one, but I think it was still a very good chance. And then there's another one where Rashford pulls it back at the edge of the box. He miskicks it, then knocks it out to Luke Shaw. And I just don't think he got into the box quick enough. He kind of ambled into the 6 yard, and the ball just came across. I'm like running there straight away. So
that's what you get when you get a 33-year-old man up top, isn't it? You ain't gonna get the pace. You ain't got the pace to get to Elder then.
I know, man, but I just think, I think we had the best chance to win the game, which is the same when we played against Chelsea, the same when we played against Liverpool. But in terms of the game itself, I think Arsenal did well. Let's talk about the midfield. We spoke about before the midfield battle. And in the first game, it was a diamond, and Pepe and El Neni bossed it. Not Pepe, sorry, Partey and El Neni. Shane says Partey was crap. Do you agree with that? Or
yeah, the passes were just sloppy today, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's he's still come back from injury. Obviously, we know he was a doubt coming into the game, but I mean, every time, like not every time, but I mean, there were times in the game in the first half where I think he was okay, but then like in the second half, like the ball's at his feet and we're trying to break away, and the pass is just getting in front of someone too far, like too wide, and unusual from him from what we've seen already this season. He's created opportunities to score goals already. I don't know if he feels like he has to do too much, but he had more time than he thought, and he's just like overhitting passes, and it was sloppy. I thought Xhaka done quite well. I don't think he had a bad game at all. I thought he controlled the midfield from our point of view much better than Partey did in a weird way. You expect it from Partey, and Xhaka came up on top. But yeah, I was disappointed with Partey in that respect. I felt like there were opportunities we gave you the ball where you could have actually, scored a goal from.
That's the thing. I think Pogba did all right when he moved into the middle. But he was just like, for me, the two issues for us, the midfield wasn't even that really an issue for us. I think Pogba and Fred did well. It was the defense and the attack. When I say defense, not even defensively. I think defensively they're good. For me, David Luiz got man of the match. I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, maybe you saw it like that. Maybe I'm looking more at Man United side. I think Luke Shaw was the best player on the pitch. I think Luke Shaw was brilliant. I think defensively he was sound. And I think going forward, for us, he was definitely the most dangerous player going forward. He was running through the midfield. He created 2 out of the 3 best chances of the game. Two out of the best 3. Yeah, the other one came from the right hand side. I think he's definitely our best player. But I mean, David Luiz got it, but I don't feel like we were bombarding you with attack after attack to give it to David Luiz. Was it just? I think it's maybe a case it was just 0-0 and they gave it to a defender.
I think Luiz and Holden
differently.
Yeah, I think Luiz and Holden did well overall. Like I feel like, and it's not necessarily in terms of like the overall gameplay in terms of having to defend backs against the wall, but there's I never felt like we were getting dominated to the point that we were gonna lose the game, and I felt like partly is because Rob Holden, I think he won every single ball that came in the box in terms of that he won with his head. So in corners and stuff, both of them were solid. He obviously got the block on the free kick, and he also was an outlet for us going forward as well. He brought the ball forward. He played a couple of key passes as well into Lacazette. I thought he was I'm not mad that he was man in the match. I feel like from our point of view, it could have gone to him or Holden. Probably him or Holden. Okay. Maybe Pepe in terms of, but obviously not getting a score sheet. You probably don't.
Well, let's talk about Pepe in it, because Pepe has come under a lot of criticism, and rightly so. It's been a year and a half, and everyone's seen glimpses from him, but it's really been, we're talking in terms of Premier League especially, a handful of glimpses from him. Today for me he was definitely your most dangerous player, and because he's got that in him, you just fear as an opposition, you're fearing that today he's gonna just hit one and it's gonna go in. When Lacazette took that free kick, I'm thinking, Pepe is gonna be over this one, top bins, because it seemed like he was just finding his range a bit. There's a few shots he had just gone past the post. The good block from Maguire, which I think that one, David De Gea may have saved it with his feet because he can do that, but it looked like it was low and hard to David De Gea's right hand side. So it was a very good block from Maguire. I think overall, he was your probably best attacking player. Lacazette did well as well, to be fair.
I think Pepe was definitely the better one. I think he had the most shots. He had 4 shots in the game. I thought Shaw did well, but I thought he did there was the one opportunity where he got past him and tried to pull him back because he got round him, and then the one when he did the step overs and curled it wide was that was close, and then obviously the one against 1-on-1 with Maguire putting it through his legs as well. So I mean, he had a good game. It was just getting that he just wasn't clinical right at the last bit when you really need him to just get the goal. He couldn't do it, but and as you said, in big games you're not going to get that many chances. So when you do get it, I actually thought the one we had with Maguire. It's hard to say because he ain't got a right foot, but that was better again, dragging it to the right hand side and hitting it. But he's so one-footed that it was so bait he was going to cut it in with the left foot. The only good thing was that it was Maguire, because Maguire didn't want to come out to him. He just wanted to stand there. And I think Maguire maybe thought he was going to go around him, so stuck a leg out and got it through his legs. And with De Gea maybe unsighted, that could have snuck in if it was just a little bit more in. But Pepe was good, man. And as I said, that's 2 good games for him in a row. Hopefully this is what we want more of, just consistency playing. And obviously the pressure was on with no Saka today for him to deliver. I know Aubameyang as well. And I thought he'd done well. Just needed that goal. Just didn't fall for him really.
I think Aston Villa are winning at the moment. So they've just gone above Arsenal. And Man United, Sheffield United beat. Also, Sheffield United beat. I wish they did. Man City beat Sheffield United 1-0. I mean, you can say it puts our loss to them in perspective, but it doesn't make it feel any better. I mean, I think Sheffield United have been a bit unlucky actually this season. There've been a lot of games which have been tight and they've failed to get over the line. But Man City have been very good in the last few weeks. I think it's 8 wins in a row now, and they're able to get over the line, whether it's get the goal, keep the clean sheet. For Man United, I think this draw. I mean, Man City were always my favourites to win it, and you hope that you can push them as hard as long as possible. Honestly, we're not winning the league. I didn't think we were, but I think we can write that off. Yes, we can be in the race, but it's going to be like a case of, all right, when are Man City going to win the league? As opposed to, if they lose this game, Man United will go on top. Like, we're not returning to the top of the table this year. I can't see anyone else return to the top of the table this season. Man City will stay there. And for us, it's just like, yeah, we need to go beat, I think we're Everton next and then Southampton or the other way around. We need to go on another run. You know, when we drew to Man City back in, I think it was November, a lot of people saw that as a disappointing draw. And I was like, we just need to make sure we didn't lose because of the game before. And we went from that game, we went on and going on like a 13, 14 game unbeaten run. We need to go on the same. I think for me, in terms of today, I think, as I said, that from the back, defensively, I think we were good. David De Gea wasn't making save after save after save. I think there was a shot from him on Smith-Rowe that he dealt with. I don't remember many other. Verlaine made a couple of saves. Well, at least one that was tipped over from Fred, which I thought was going in.
That was a good save.
But
and he did well to come out to Rashford.
Yeah, he did as well. Because I thought when Rashford pulled it back, I thought, he's going to take a shot and probably score. But our passing out from the back was so poor. You know, credit Arsenal for the press, but it's something that I see from us, even without teams that press, even without, against weaker opposition, weaker team pressing teams, where we're just so slow and ponderous on the ball. And it just gives the opposition all the time in the world to either get into their shape if you're going to sit back, or to press efficiently. And we know Arsenal are a very good pressing side. And it's something that has griped me for a year now. Like, Solskjaer's been here for 3 years. Yeah, it was 3 years now. And I granted, to be fair, at the beginning, we weren't passing out from the back. So you might say, I'll say about a year and a half, we've been passing out from the back. And we just can't do it. And you compare to how Arsenal do it. And Arsenal are so, and obviously Pep, Arteta's been trained under Pep. So you understand why they're so proficient in doing it. But you see the way that Arsenal build their attacks right from the back. And I think they've done it so well today. Us, it was like, and I said in the preview, it was either on Hero and on the football terrace. Forget the pass outs. Just try beat the press, because it's just not going to work. I don't think we built a proper attack from the back at all. But you must be happy with at least the way Arsenal were building their attacks, even if the final decision, the final ball, the final shot wasn't productive in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we built, I think, as I said, but you're used to that now, sort of playing. There was obviously periods of last season where it was shaky, and people criticized Arteta for doing it. But when you see how it's worked a year on, you think, actually, a year in, you're working with a team to do it, and you can see the benefits from it now. And I've been saying it from the start of the season. Like, we're confident from Leno. From Leno on the ball, he will get pressured and he'll still make the right choice. And he very rarely makes mistakes. And David Luiz in the holding, and then into what we needed probably from the first half of the season was the number 10, the Smith-Rowe. Because when we get to him, he can just pick up and run. You know what I mean? He can pick up and run. There was an opportunity he had in the first half where he's able to get past I think McTominay and just start, and it was in, like it was through. So yeah, always happy with that. I think with Man United, it's probably the fact that I don't know if you've got the players to do it yet. Like, you've got Lindelof, Maguire, and probably Wan-Bissaka. I don't know if they have the confidence to really hold on to the ball in tight situations and really do the whole play through the press thing. You probably have one or two, like obviously Pogba can obviously do it. And I don't know if Fred and McTominay have just the
I heard that. I heard that.
maybe his players rather than.
Yeah, I think when we play Matic there, even though he likes to dwell on the ball, that's the problem when you're passing up from the back. He will drop into like a centre back position to retrieve the ball, and then you can pass out. Fred McTominay, they're never going to be able to do that. And of course, Pogba can, but you want Pogba higher up the pitch than in those positions. Luke Shaw is good on the ball. Wan-Bissaka was good on the ball, to be fair, going forward. But it's that first passing out when you're first kind of trying to beat the press. You need to be you need to think very quickly and pass out and make the angles. But when he progressed past the halfway line, I think he was good. He put in a number of crosses today. You know, not everyone's going to meet the target, but I think he was good on the ball. But yeah, I mean, we definitely, if we're looking for a centre back, which we should be, I think the centre back needs to be able to pass out from the back. He needs to be able to play from the back. Maguire is good on the ball. He's good with running with the ball. I think there's a few times actually that he drove through the midfield and into the attack with the ball. But it's just that I think they just dwell on the ball too much. They dwell on the ball. They end up going back to David ahead, and he goes long. And Shane said he disagreed with me. I mean, I've seen it too many times. I think we're just too slow. We're just too slow. You have to be quicker with your passes when you're building out from the back. That's just the way I see it personally. In midfield, I think the McTominay. Okay, when McTominay went off and Pogba went to the middle, did you see that as a benefit to Arsenal or a hindrance? Were you happy Pogba wasn't in the middle?
I thought you look better. Well, right towards the end of that first half. Anyway, it was a risk from Ollie, but I think he took the risk because he knew that our attack was stifled. Maybe if we had Saka and Aubameyang in the game, he may not have risked it that early. He may have went away on. But when you saw that Martinelli and Pepe and Lacazette and Smith-Rowe, they're not the potent front four that you think will carve you open time and time again. So you could probably do with having maybe Pogba in there with another one. So it weirdly, at the end of the first half, I thought, right, literally the game just swung in the other direction.
It did.
Right, you might get something before half time. And then in the second half, weirdly, when we brought on Willian for Martinelli, it switched again. And then I think it benefited us then because the first sort of 25 minutes of the second half, we dominated, like we were on top. And, you know, Willian had a chance, and then Pepe had a chance, and then the free kick. We had and it was like we just kept coming and coming and coming. And then obviously, then I think it swung back again towards the end of the game with the Cavani chances. So, like, it benefited us in certain ways, but we didn't take advantage of it. Yeah. And you could have paid the price because this was similar like Old Trafford. It was the game where one goal might have been enough. So it was a risk that Ollie took.
Yeah, I think one goal, and I agree. I think one goal definitely was enough, and I think it would have been enough, should I say? And I think it was a risk. Again, I would not even have brought on Martial. Like for me, this whole playing Rashford on the right to accommodate everyone else.
Yeah,
he needs to stop this. I mean, Rashford didn't have a good game. He didn't have a good game. So you have to take individual.
But he's not playing it. He's not a good game, but it's not comfortable there, man.
That's the thing. He's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you saw even a couple of times when he went to the left, how he seemed has a clearer mind what he wants to do.
Yeah, you could tell shift onto the right. You knew it, and like I was shocked. And even I thought in the second half, he might switch it. He might put Martial there, even though Martial will be even worse because he's not on form. You might just try Rashford there in the second half.
But for me, I would have brought on. The thing is, I thought he was going to bring on Van der Beek for McTominay. I was hoping he didn't bring on Matic. Whatever happened, do not bring on Matic because he ain't got the legs.
Van der Beek.
I know. But I was just like, don't bring on Matic, please. And so when he brought on Martial, I was pleasantly surprised because it meant that he was trying to go a bit further, like push further forward. So I applauded that. But for me, should have been Greenwood. You bring Greenwood, put him on the right, and you put Rashford on the left. Rashford is so uncomfortable on the right, as is Martial, because I've seen Martial play on the right under I think it's Mourinho put him there sometimes. He was so uncomfortable. Greenwood, I think, is probably the most comfortable at the three because, again, he can cut in on the right-hand side onto his left foot. But everyone else, or them two, are so uncomfortable there. Against Liverpool, he puts Pogba on the right, which isn't an issue, and he puts Rashford through the middle and Martial on the left. And we're just accommodating for players who are out of form. So if Martial was banging on the left and Cavani's banging up front and, you know, Pogba's banging here, then you say, cool, Rashford, you have to stay on the right-hand side. But when he's best production for us this season has been on the left. You keep him on the left. He doesn't move Bruno from the number 10 because Pogba might play better there. Or maybe we need Martial to be still central, so you have two strikers. No, he puts him in the middle. He puts what's his name? He puts Bruno there. He puts when McTominay and Fred play, they always play in that same position. Matic always plays in the same position. Rashford just keeps getting moved. And for me, it's a bigger detriment. Because you might think, oh, we're more balanced because Rashford can run on the right-hand side. But if he's not doing anything, you're weaker because the left-hand side ain't producing what Rashford did. And I wanted Rashford to go up against Bellerin. Cedric is a better defender for me than Bellerin. I know he's not as natural on the left-hand side, but I wanted Rashford up against Bellerin, and we didn't get it. And I think it affects Luke Shaw as well because they have a good partnership down the left-hand side. I think that was so poor from Solskjaer. He needs to stop accommodating poorly performing players and put the best players in the best position.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, Ed's got a couple of days to bring Sancho in, I guess, isn't it?
Listen, ain't nothing happening in this transfer window. It just shows the imbalance in the squad. You're playing two defensive midfielders to accommodate for one in McTominay and Fred. We're playing everyone and their dog at right wing. I don't know, man. Something needs to change if we're gonna really go and win a title. I'm not even talking about this season. I'm talking about going forward. For me, we ain't winning the title. Man City were always favourites, and they're now building up a head of steam, and they're building up a points gap. So they could, in the next month, they got a few tough games coming up: Liverpool, Spurs, and someone else. I can't remember this. I think there's 3 games they got tough coming up, but I don't know what Man United is going to do in the next game. That's the problem. I just don't know. We need to get back to winning ways ASAP. In terms of Arsenal, do you think Arteta will be happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he said it after the game. He's happy with that, considering the players he didn't have. And I feel like there's something to build on from there. From our point of view, like, again, as I said, not losing the game, that's now 7 unbeaten. So there's, you build on that. Now, if you get the win at Wolves, I think we got Wolves on Tuesday. You win there. It makes this result not bad at all. Again, if you lose to Wolves, then it's like, okay, we ain't won in 2 games now, sort of thing. You need to get the run back on. So something to build on from there. And I think, obviously getting the players back is a priority. I mean, Cedric was okay, but going forward, there was nothing there because he couldn't go down had Tierney goes boom down the left. He had to cut in all the time because he's right-footed, and so that stifled him a little bit. But yeah, man, and it's weird. Obviously, we didn't play Gabriel today. He can't get back in because of the form of Louise and Holding, and Mari before that. So it's good competition in terms of the players that starting to all play well now. A lot of people criticize Willian coming on. Arteta said it was tactical and not injury related. And I do feel like we were better in the second half.
Well, that's the thing. You said that. You said when you came on, it kind of shifted the momentum that was at the end of the first half. As an individual performance, how do you think he played? Obviously, as a team, you were definitely better. Yeah. But as an individual, how do you think he played?
I think he done all right. He obviously the big thing was the chance that he missed. He should have done better, 100%. But the ball, he got down the left hand side. I think he beat Wan-Bissaka, got the crossing for Pepe's shot. Defended quite well when he came back as well. Against Rashford a couple of times actually. Cut in against Wan-Bissaka. Got Wan-Bissaka his first yellow card of the season because he attacked him and cut in and got the free kick.
Was that on Willian?
Yeah, it was on Willian. William cut in.
I thought that was Cedric on the right. I thought that was Cedric on the. No, that was Pogba. That was Pogba. It was Pogba who tripped up Willian.
Oh, Pogba fouled him. Okay, yeah. But you know what I mean? Just a lack of. He showed a bit of impetus. More than he had been before. So I think people were criticizing him because he's been bad overall, and people.
That's the thing. I think as an individual game, I don't think he played bad. I think he obviously his impact was positive for Arsenal, but it's like Martial. Martial came on today. He wasn't bad, but he's been bad for so long that okay isn't good enough right now. Yeah. Oh, you need to step up, and so I understand people's frustration, but of course, if you're judging it on this game alone.
Yeah, and it was weird because Martinelli wasn't having a bad game. No. So it was like you're taking off someone who wasn't having a bad game, maybe to try and impact your game. And in hindsight, we don't know. Would Martinelli have gone on to score? I don't know. I don't think Martinelli was threatening, So
No,
maybe that,
he
and
wasn't.
maybe Willian got into positions more, more attacking than Martinelli. So I don't know. I'm not too mad at Willian, for his game today. But as you said, yeah. But what it does show for me is that, okay, cool, you're okay, but you're not starting next game. You're not starting
Yeah.
against Wolves. You know what I mean? Like, we're going back now. Aubameyang's coming back in. Obviously, you got to see Odegaard for 10 minutes as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, listen, he made his debut. What did you make of it? I don't actually remember anything from him.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really happened. It was towards the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like about it a little bit is that, and it's so small, but it's the fact that he's left-footed and a number
Mm.
10. Just because Smith-Rowe is right-footed,
and his O is not a normal O. You think he's
yeah,
isn't it?
it's a bit silky. But because Smith-Rowe is right-footed, he attacks in a certain way, and the left-footed, to him being left-footed, just shifts the way that we play a little bit to the, like, it's not massive, but like, let's just say, for example, you put on number 10 for another number 10, like for like, you may not get a shift in the way the thing plays.
Yeah.
When it's a small shift in terms of, okay, he's now gonna, like, say for example, right? I don't know. I'm saying, for example, let's say Fred was man marking Smith-Rowe all game. Let's just say that was the example, right? Fred's now got to all of a sudden have to start shift his game to think, okay, now I've got to start watching this guy because he's now left-footed. And listen, today maybe it wasn't. Maybe anyone throughout the season, if that's an option that we're gonna have off the bench, yeah, man.
Do you think you would end up with 3 left-footers behind the striker? So Saka, Pepe, and Odegaard, because I think that would be wild. Like left-footed players, as Shane just said, they're more technically gifted. I agree.
Yeah,
but they're very, very left-footed. So you end up everything just starts getting shifted that side, and nothing's going the other way. Whereas right-footed players, I guess there's more of them, but right-footed players tend to use both feet more than a left-footed player would.
Yeah, I think that's obviously the risk, but I think that's probably why you get Aubameyang for the balance, because he's so right-footed. So he'll maybe give the balance coming the other way if he is playing out on the left. And I also think Saka ain't afraid to go on his right. I think that's the good thing about him being young. Maybe he's not so. Pepe is so left-footed. It's unbelievable.
100%. Man.
So but I think that's because he's probably worked on his game and his left foot so much in France. Where Saka is so young coming in, he probably hasn't had a chance to really develop his game on if. But if someone said, right, go and do your thing, I can score goals with his right foot and crossed him with his right foot, where you think, raw, you're left-footed, how are you doing that? Because I think he's so young and he's not like so one-footed.
Ramsey, he's just better, man. He's just better. Yeah, Saka is just better than Pepe. It's as simple as that, man. It really is.
Yeah, man. I think we did miss him today, man. It would have been good to see him against Luke Shaw and see what would have happened, but it is what it is, isn't it?
It's funny because
sore hip.
Yeah, resting him for a bigger game or something, isn't it? No, it's funny because Pepe has. I mean, Shaw's struggled against Pepe in recent games. So again, like Pepe got him out a few times in it, but he definitely dealt with him better than I've seen in the past. Like in the past, I think the last game he played at Emirates against you lot, like he tore him to pieces, man. It was disgusting. He definitely did better. I think for me, Shaw's probably the only positive. Lindelof did well. To be fair, I'm not gonna. The back four did well. For what their job was, they did well. I think Luke Shaw for me was the standout for us. The midfielders in the attack were average to poor. Rashford was poor. Again, I think a lot of it's to do with the position he's playing in. Cavani was poor because he missed gilt-edged opportunities. And Martial and Greenwood. Martial didn't do much when he came on, and he was on for longer. Greenwood didn't do much. He wasn't on for that long. So disappointing result for us. I think some Arsenal fans said Man United were there for the taking. Maybe before the lineups came out. I think when the lineups came out, maybe Arsenal fans would have taken a draw. And I think the performance, especially between the two boxes, Arsenal were better than us.
I think and I spoke about a lot, but defensively again from us, man, like to get a clean sheet, that's 3 in a row against Man United as well.
I mean, that's fortunate. Cavani didn't have his shooting boots on.
It's fortunate in one aspect, like in chances, but like Leno makes a great save, made another good save. I thought Louise and Holden had a good game overall, and even though you get away with it, it's another mark on the board to say, boom, like it's another clean sheet. Do you know what I mean? Increases the confidence in the guys going forward, and it'll be interesting to see. Listen, we've played in big games down the years, even in Wenger's days, down the latter years, and we've been absolutely battered, like looking like we're going to concede left, right, and centre. This year and the end of last year, in the big games, we're competing a lot more. We could have won today, we didn't. We got a point. We beat Chelsea this season, and we beat. We beat you lot at Old Trafford as well. So what I mean, we're competing a lot more in the big games. So that's a good thing from our point of view. I don't know how you feel because you haven't won a top six game yet this season, have you? In the league,
No, not a big six. I mean, I'm trying to think
big six, yeah.
who have we beaten the top. We beaten West Ham. They're in the top six. Where
you didn't beat Leicester, innit, as well?
No, we drew with Leicester.
Yeah.
Where's Everton sitting these days? We beat them. Everton are seventh now. So yeah, I mean, in terms of big six, no.
Yeah.
We've drawn three. Wait, no, drawn four. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay, so obviously, we played you lot twice now, innit? But we lost to Spurs and we lost to you. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And we've drawn all the others. So yeah, we haven't been great in them, but equally in all the games that we've drawn, the other team also haven't beaten us in that respect. So it's like it's fine margins. It really is because, as I said, Chelsea, we had a better chance. Chelsea barely created anything against us. I don't think David De Gea made a save in that game. We created better chances. Mendy made a few good saves. The Liverpool game, Bruno and Pogba, either or and both have to score those chances. They don't. Today, Cavani misses at least one gilt-edge opportunity and two good ones. Have to score. So whether we would have gone on to won the game and Arsenal came back, blah blah, we're not even scoring. We're drawing 0-0 all the time because we're not being clinical in these games. And is it a technical issue? I don't think so. Maybe it's a mentality thing, the pressure of knowing that you're not going to get a whole lot of chances, so you have to take the one or two that you get. And the players just haven't been able to do that. We've seen that in semi-finals, the Sevilla game. I mean, the Sevilla game, we had so many chances and we failed to take those. It's just in those big moments, in those big games, we're just not able to get over the line. PSG at home, we're missing easy chances of PSG go and win the game. Tactically, I think there's some issues in terms of how we set up, but in the big game, it's so thin. Other than the Spurs game, every other game was so close. We lost 1-0 to you from a penalty. Every other game was so close, and we're just we've been unable to actually take the chance. And if we're going to win a title, you have to take those chances in the big games. And that's why I think top four is still the most important thing. So, yeah, we move. We lost. We don't get back-to-back losses, which we haven't done for over a year now. So we hope that we can now return to winning ways. Who's Arsenal playing next?
Wolves away.
So yeah, Arsenal got Wolves away. Man United are playing Southampton at home. So Southampton at home, Everton at home, West Brom away, West Brom away, Newcastle at home. I'm going to be very, very honest. I want 4 wins out of 4. It's not going to be easy, but Everton lost to Newcastle today. Southampton are losing to Aston Villa. I think it's still 1-0.
Yeah.
West Brom are West Brom, and Newcastle are Newcastle. Like we need to be winning these games, and I want goals. I want my forwards to get back to scoring. Bruno Fernandes hasn't had a good month. Rashford has a good month, so they need to start February as they mean to continue. But yeah, that's it for the Arsenal Man United match review. 0-0 at the Emirates. Man United fall off in the race for top 4. Arsenal still trying to cling on to some European places. In terms of going forward, FA Cup, Man United still in it, Arsenal out, both in the Europa League. So there's still chances for silverware for both teams for this season. The league, maybe there might have been an adjustment on both our expectations going forward. But guys, thanks for joining. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the content, and we'll see you soon.